Oh, it's the Frugal Facemask here again. So now that I know how to use this little video program, I guess you're going to be getting more videos more often. I can't take this shit anymore. I can't keep making notes of all these different topics. I got to get them out, get them out, get them out. It's crazy, bro. Sorry for the space, but it's just crazy, bro. Well, before we get into it, I bet you didn't know that your homeboy, Frugal Facemask, is a junglist supreme. Hear that fresh ass jungle music? I made that shit, bro. But anyway, let's get to this thing. It's gonna take a long time to dissect, but I guess this is part one, and we'll hear the gunshots, and then we'll go. Alright, so this one goes out to all my dummies. Hey, I could be a dummy sometimes too. To all my ignoramuses, to all my fools who don't know how to do some research. We've been talking about this thing, or they've been talking about it, whatever, for at least 2 weeks already. You think you would have looked it up. You think you would have done some research so you know what it is and what's going on before you start talking shit about it. Because you people have no idea what you're talking about. I saw a white dude talking about, oh, blah, 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 it's going to affect the black... Bro, you don't know anything about the black community, whitey. Alright? He was trying to say that if they defund the police, it's going to affect the black community greatly. Bro, the black community is already negatively affected by police presence and over-policing. So, I'll just straight up give you the answer right at the beginning. When you do what you have always done, you will get what you have always gotten. That's not my quote. It's just one I remember. You know? Just like fight fire with fire. By any means necessary. This system has been around for over 400 years. It does not work. If something doesn't work, you keep doing it, or do you try to make it better? Do you try to make that change? You know? I'm a parent. So if I'm doing something with my kids and I can see it's terrorizing them and not teaching them anything, am I going to keep doing it and fucking them up? Or am I going to try something different? The different thing I try might work, it might not. But what I'm already doing isn't working. So open your mind, fools. Because this is not working. So let me just clear all this up for you. Nice and summarized so you don't have to do the research, you lazy fools. I put a 2-paragraph thing on the internet. Oh, it's a paragraph, bro. I can't read. Yeah, man. And you think the people look at the United States as, like, looking up to us? Nah, bro. We're, like, 25th in education in the world. But anyway. Defunding and dismantling. We'll start with the defunding. That's what everyone seems to be getting misconception about, okay? Defunding doesn't mean take away all the money from the police so they can't do their job. It doesn't mean take all the police away either. It doesn't mean that we don't want there to be no police. There are dangerous people. There are murderers and rapists and bank robbers and stuff like that. Child molesters. However, as far as I know, like here in most places, the rape kits are backlogged for like a year. So you got raped, you went into the cops, they took your stuff. A year later, they haven't even tested it. Does that make you feel served or protected? Fuck no. They got all that money and they can't do that? So maybe if we took away a couple of those tanks that they don't need to shoot at citizens and grenades and military equipment, and then on the military level too, you know, we don't need this gigantic military that we have. What is killing us is this pandemic that this orange fool is ignoring. So that's all we're talking about. Taking some money from over here that you don't need and putting it over here where you do need it. Because you're supposed to be serving these people, protecting them, solving these rapes. If you're a year behind, that needs to be one of the #1 priorities. Not going after people for driving while black. Shit like that. Okay? So it does not mean take all their money. They have too much money and too much power. They don't need that bullshit. Take it away. Alright? So next time somebody is in a bad situation and they're going to kill themselves, we'll send a mental health specialist out there with that money. Instead of giving you another tank to shoot at people with. Another fucking 50 cal to put on your tank to point at civilians. Look up a 50 cal and see what that is. That's one of them gigantic machine guns that you see on the back of Jeeps when you see war. That's what they're going to shoot at us for protesting, bro? They don't need that. So we're talking about taking that money and putting it into good stuff. So they can do their job. They can go solve the robberies, the murders, the rapes, the violent crimes, all that stuff. That's their job. Keep them on it. But what they don't need to be doing is harassing homeless people. Homelessness is not a crime. If I try to look for a job, try to look for a place, and I can't do it, that's a fucking crime? Fuck out of here, bro. They shouldn't have to worry about domestic disputes. Now, I know some people don't want to go up there unarmed, but you don't need a posse. You need the mental health worker and one backup officer. Stupid, bro. We don't need them to interfere in healthcare, addiction. Nah, bro. Don't worry about addiction. We need to get rid of this bullshit drug war that we spend billions on. It doesn't stop anything. Drugs come into this country by the ton. Blacks don't do it. Mexican people don't do it, carrying it on their backs by the ton, nigga. That's planes, boats, trains. That's white people. That's cops and customs, border patrol, and people like that getting paid off. How come they don't go to jail? Don't you want the top man? But you go after the little low-hanging fruit. And I've heard the cops talk about, they tell them to do that so they can get the arrest. Go get that little boy with the $10 rock in his sock. That's an easy arrest. But then you fuck up his life and everything else. And yeah, he shouldn't do it. He's a 10-year-old boy, though. What the fuck do you think he sees in his neighborhood? You don't got no dad. All these niggas to look up to with flashy cars. Oh, bro, all you gotta do is stand on the corner and whistle when the cops come. You can get arrested for that. You don't even have to have drugs. Or just one thing. It's only $10, bro. I ain't telling you to rip up anything. It's $1,000. Just $10 here. Just sell it for $10, bro. You don't think he's not gonna do it if his sister's hungry, if his mom's got 2 jobs and they're still hungry? Why don't you do some research, bro? Just because you commit a crime doesn't mean you need to. So let's get back to defunding. So yeah, addiction, that ain't their problem. Jaywalking. I saw these fucking cops, 4 of them, detain 2 teenagers for jaywalking. It looked like a rundown rural area almost, but there were houses. No cars on the street. I don't think any cars passed the whole time they were fucking sitting there detaining them. Threatening to throw them in jail. There's no sidewalks. I mean, technically that's illegal, but an hour? 4 cops? Really? That's not a waste of money? That's what defunding is. We only send 1 car out for that bullshit. Actually, we don't deal with that bullshit. Use them fucking silly cameras you got. Take the picture and send them a $10 ticket. Fucking retards. They don't need to be pulling people over for going 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. Go worry about violent crimes. Let traffic cops do that shit. You know? Fucking morons. Leave me alone anyway, because all they do is they jump on your car and hope to get lucky. And then bust your tail light or plant something on you. You know, yeah, fuck that, bro. Take some of that money and put them on real body cams, the ones they can't turn off. And if they turn them off, they should be let go right away. Why isn't that a law? You turn it off? No oops. You're fired. I bet we'd get footage then. Pulling people over for a fucking air freshener hanging from their rearview mirror. I don't care if I have flashing lights around my rearview mirror. I still know how to look into the mirror. You don't get to tell me that I'm distracted. You didn't see me weaving. You didn't see me doing nothing. All you saw was the tree. Because I want my car to look nice. You don't get to pull me over. Just because you don't get to tell me what affects me, bro. Fuck out of here. Go look at my driving record. All this other BS. They need to end the drug war. There's billions of dollars right there, man. And the other problem is they get incentives. All these arrest quotas. They can say, oh, I don't have a quota. But yes, you do, bro. I wish I knew this guy's name. I'll show him to you later, an ex-cop, and he breaks this all down. The systemic racism, how he had to leave. He couldn't take it. So yeah, maybe there are a couple of good cops, but no. A few bad apples? No. There's only a few good apples. But we'll get to that. So we have to incentivize them in a different way. Okay? I have an OTC card. It's from my insurance company. I get points, which turns into money for caring for myself, keeping my blood pressure in check, going to the doctor, going to the dentist. And it's because they want to incentivize you taking care of yourself so you don't get worse, which is more money when they have to pay for those things. I thought they should have done this for years. Like, they didn't clean your teeth when you had dental insurance with Medicaid here, but they would do other stuff that's more expensive. If you did the $80 cleaning, the other stuff probably wouldn't happen. Stupid, bro. So I can take my OTC card, I can buy toiletries, deodorant, soap, dish soap, stuff like that. I can buy over-the-counter medicines. I can buy stuff for babies if my kids were still babies. A lot of shit. Just for taking care of yourself. Now that's the police job, to serve and protect. So instead of giving them incentives to throw everyone in jail, why don't you give them rewards, raises, and incentives for keeping neighborhoods safe? Every time you contact a citizen, and it's a good contact, you just go around and meet everyone in the neighborhood. And every time you get 5 civilian contacts that don't end up in arrest, then you get some incentives. Then you get a raise. Not for making shit up so you can get another arrest. That causes that, bro. That causes that. So we need to incentivize these cops to do right. Okay? I'm bored here. There's nothing to do. There's no crime. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what they say when they go to the rich neighborhoods. But there's crime there. They could fuck with their cars and all that shit. They fucked with our community college, Department of Revenue. See, that's not real police. Revenue, that's money. They're going up and down the community college where people with kids, people trying to go back to school, poor people, and trying to bust them for having missing tags and shit on their car. Why don't you go to the Gold Coast, which is the rich neighborhood? They got mad money. And I've lived in some good neighborhoods. They are mad entitled and break hella laws. Why don't you go get money from them, bro? We don't got the fucking money. But you fill the prisons and people make money off of it. It's fucking retarded, bro. The shit doesn't work. We gotta start over. The very first cops in this country, their job was to go get the property and bring it back. Bring it back to the whitey. Go get that property, bitch. That's mine. No, he ain't a person. That's a nigger. Bring him back. That's my property. That's how the police got started. So racism's always been in there. You heard of Daryl Gates? That asshole from fucking L.A. who was chief when Rodney King almost got his ass beat to death on tape, and they got away with it. You know where he recruited his officers from? Alabama, Ku Klux Klan members, nigger haters down south. For real. The tapes are unredacted. Or, yeah, you can listen to them. Yeah, we got a nigger in a Honda. We got 3 niggers hanging on this corner. Yeah, I'm following a nigger. Yeah, you know what? Racism has always been there. And that gets to my next point. Dismantle. And that does mean get rid of all the police. But it doesn't mean we don't want police. It means fire every current police officer. You didn't want to do your job. You didn't want to turn people in. You didn't want to be a good cop. You didn't want to be a good apple. You were too scared. Get the fuck out. Go work at McDonald's. Find something else. Be a security guard. It is much easier to train a blank slate than someone who's been on the force for 30 years. You are not going to retrain some 50-year-old racist, bust heads, fuck spics, fuck niggers type of motherfucker that barely lives in Chicago. There's a neighborhood right at the edge where a lot of them live. It's a nice neighborhood, obviously, but they don't know how to drive. They don't know how to park. Yeah, I get into fights with a lot of them. I ain't scared of no fucking cops. One of them, yeah, I got in his motherfucking face, but that's another story. Anyway, you're not going to retrain that. That's like trying to retrain your racist grandpa. You know? If you're so sensitive to peer pressure that you let your fellow officers commit murder and all this other stuff, then how the fuck do you dare come up on me and tell me you have to arrest me because my peer pressure made me smoke a joint or something? Now, I don't do peer pressure, but I'm just making an example. Your peer pressure causes you to let people get murdered, but you're going to put me in jail because my peer pressure made me smoke a blunt? Fuck out of here, bro. So, yeah, sorry for ya. You should have turned in the people. You want to turn in us? You guys are supposed to be held to a higher standard. So, yes, defund and dismantle. Get rid of every single officer, except maybe a couple who haven't had a complaint yet. But you know what? Go try to complain about a police officer and see how that goes. They investigate themselves. That's who we really need to get of, the police unions. because they're the ones that have power and keep them out of trouble. First the police unions, but no, get rid of all police. And then just start all over again. There's people who still want to be police, and I'm sure there's people who want to be a police that does right. There are people who went into the police department thinking they were going to be allowed to do right. What about that black lady cop who got fired because she pulled a fellow officer off somebody that she thought they were going to kill? It is not their job to kill us. And if it is, then we should kill them back. I didn't feel sorry for them 5 fucking cops in Dallas. You want to do us versus them? That's what happens. You want to pull a gun on me because I'm doing what you told me to do? Or because I didn't move fast enough? Did you see them white kids in the fucking hotel? Get up, get down, crawl towards me. He was so fucking confused. And as soon as he didn't do what that Call of Duty motherfucker told him to do, he lit him up. Really? He was on the ground. And he had his partner, and his partner put the girl in handcuffs. Why didn't he just hold the gun on him while his partner goes up and handcuffs him? He's a fucking little kid. I think they were having a beer party or something at a hotel. Unacceptable. Dismantle. Yes, you're goddamn right. I had 2 people in my family in law enforcement. They got out of that shit quick. The good cops get out. There are no good cops. They're the ones that stand around and watch them get murdered. And lie on the police report and back up the false story and look the other way and don't talk about things they know. If we did that, we'd be in jail. So think about that. They get paid to fuck with us and they don't even have to follow the same standards we do. Fuck the police. Coming straight from the underground. Young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. Well, fuck that shit, cause I ain't the one with a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beaten on and thrown in jail. I'm gonna kill you fucking first and fuck a fucking jail cell. Sorry, just had to get that out. I know I'm stupid. But anyway, yeah, bro. So now you know. Defund and dismantle. Defund means take all the extra money that they don't need to fuck with us and do all this shit. Bro, they were flying drones over people at the beach and these girls went to this secluded place to go topless. There was nobody around. But you had to go in the sky to see it. If you have to be up in the air to see them, then leave them the fuck alone. Obviously no one else saw them. You fucking perverts. People coming on a crowded ass beach and then they gave it to the black girls and you know a bunch of the white girls were doing it too, but but it's not about race, right? Anyway, but no, fuck the race, because something that dumb Donald said is true. More white people get killed, but that's because there are more white people. Cops shouldn't be killing anyone, so everyone should care. Defund and only give them enough money to do what they gotta do. If you gave your teenager $1,000 a week, he'd have Jordans and play video games and waste his, you know. But if you said you got to buy your own food and shit, and you gave him $100 a week, I bet you he'd learn how to make that dollar stretch. So let him make that dollar stretch. They got too much money to be killing us and then getting away with it. Fuck out of here, bro. Get rid of the police unions. Vote. Defund and dismantle. I'm sorry if you guys know what you think is a good cop. I'm sure there are, no, I know that there are serial murderers and serial rapists that have kids and are a good father, and everyone thinks they're a good person until they find out reality. So defund and dismantle, but start all over again. You know, that's what happened with the Bulls when Jordan came in. They got rid of everybody except Jordan and rebuilt around them. They didn't want no cocaine snorting, cigarette smoking dudes anymore. Sorry for ya. Jordan came in and could have done that, but he took it seriously, so they built a team around him. You know? Sorry for ya. Defund, dismantle. Stay frugal. I'll talk to you soon. This police thing ain't over, bro. It's not gonna be. For a long time. But we've got to do something different. What happens now does not work. We must do something different. Might not be the answer, but neither is this. Something different. We got to do it. All right. Peace.